Got one more 7A boys semifinal coming up, a familiar rematch between Central-Phenix City and the two-time state champion Hoover boys. But first, let's look at the highlights of the Hoover girls. And number 12, Caitlin Gibson, all over the floor. The short pull-up, the defense, the steal, the pass. Look at that dime from Kristen Winston back to Caitlin Gibson. She knocked down threes. She got out on the break, feeding the Red Devils down the floor. Excellent post feed. And there she is. You cannot leave her. Someone close out, please. Another three. A big game from Caitlin Gibson. The left-hander. You'll see a similar player on the Hoover boys, Salim London, who favors his left hand. Here's the 7A girls bracket. As I said, this is your championship game. Hoover going for 5 in a row against Hillcrest Tuscaloosa. But don't forget, the Lady Patriots, they are 33-2. They actually have a better record this year than Hoover, which is 31-4. That championship game will be the next to last game of our week here at Legacy Arena on Saturday afternoon. And we should remind you that as we switch to the championship games this afternoon, we will transition from WOTM to Alabama Public Television. Every championship game, 1A through 7A, girls and boys, all on APT. And our first championship game this afternoon will be the two-time defending champion Spring Garden against Brilliant, which opened up this tournament on Monday morning. Let's look at Ace Austin. If you know anything about high school basketball in the state of Alabama the last 4, 5, 6 years, you know the name Ace Austin, number 1 for Spring Garden, playing for her dad, Ricky Austin. All she did in the semifinals on a shaky wheel, if you will, was put together a triple-double, 32 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. That's a reason, one of the many, many reasons she's already signed to play her college basketball at the University of Alabama in the state of Alabama. And here we go with the 1A girls bracket. Brilliant. Can they put together a brilliant game plan to slow down Ace Austin in that 1A championship game this afternoon at 4 o'clock? And before we get to that game, we'll have the full pregame show on Alabama Public Television at 3:30. My running buddy Bart Heitch will be with me for that. You don't want to miss it. All right, you don't want to miss this next game, the second 7A boys semifinal. Familiar foes, Hoover going for its third straight state championship. Had to go through Central-Phenix City each of the last 2 years to get it done. They beat him in the championship game 2 years ago. Salim London, the sophomore from Hoover, was the MVP that year. But Jacoby Hill from Central-Phenix City put up 37 points in that championship game. It wasn't quite enough. Last year they met in the semifinals. Hoover got the Red Devils again, and it was junior center Dwayne Brown as the MVP. And now they meet here again in the semifinals. The head coaches, Scott Ware, Charles Burkett, are good friends. They've worked together. Charles used to be the coach, of course, at Hoover. You see the teams warming up here before we get started. There's Hoover. They are trying to become the first team in the state of Alabama in boys class 7A to go undefeated. They're 33-0 at this point. They have not only won every game they've played, they've traveled out of, not only out of this state, they've traveled across, they played in Alaska in a tournament in the second half of the season, beat teams from the places like California to show just how good they are. They've been nationally ranked as high as number 4, number 5 in different polls. They are already being discussed as one of the greatest teams in the history of high school basketball in this state. But you don't get to really be in that conversation unless you win another championship, which will take 2 more victories starting this afternoon, coming up next against Central-Phenix City. Can the Red Devils, after coming up short against the Bucks for 2 straight years, Can they pull off what would be the upset of the year? Maybe nationally, certainly in the state, or will the Bucks roll on? We'll find out next, right here on WOTM.
A personal injury can leave you in pain and serious debt. Get the auto accident compensation or other personal injury compensation you need to move on. Call the Carmichael Law Firm today. The Carmichael Law Firm, always ready.
You know, I'm a person too.
I need the king, boys.
Don't call two clowns in a tow truck when you're dreaming of them king boys.
I was in a car accident. My front tooth cracked. I'm definitely embarrassed to smile. I got mini dental implants. It changed my life because it made me feel like me. Like I can smile and feel like Ashley. I just want to say thank you.
You can be you again with mini dental implants. I'm Dr. Rick Redmond. Call me today for a free consultation and give me the opportunity to change your life.
I'm more than happy. I'm ecstatic.
With Amana brand, there's a level of trust. Trust that our quality products are reliable and innovative and backed by an outstanding warranty, letting you focus on what matters most. So it's no surprise that the Amana brand S-Series heating and cooling system provides comfort that blends with your lifestyle. It's slim, smart, quiet, and energy efficient. Exactly the kind of year-round comfort you'll feel, but hardly notice. Take comfort. It's an Amana brand.
It's a new year, and there's no better way to start it than with a new Honda from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga. Don't miss your chance to save thousands this new year on hundreds of new Hondas. Take home a new 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid or Honda CR-V with 1.9% APR or lease cash up to $1,900. Or a 2025 Honda Ridgeline with up to $5,000 lease cash. Or take home a 2024 Honda Prologue for $249 a month for 24 months. New year, new Honda. Discover yours today from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
This is heart. This is pride. This is community. This is high school football.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we welcome you to Legacy Arena at the
UAB Sports and Exercise Medicine. Book an appointment today.
freshman number 21, Ladarius Copeland. Junior number 22, Deshaun Harris. Sophomore number 23, Amir Word. Your starting lineup for the Central-Phenix City Red Devils. A senior, number 0, Jacoby Hill. Senior number 1, Bryce Dawson. A senior, number 3, Desmond Williams. A senior, number 4, Jonah Jones. Junior, number 5, Jaden Ford. And your head coach, Charles Burkett. And now, Hoover fans, make some noise for your Buccaneers. A senior number 2, Caleb Williams. Senior number 3, Riley Fry. A junior number 10, Kobe Bolaware. A junior number 11, Michael Glass. A junior number 20, Messiah Malin. A junior number 35, Jackson Sheffield. The starting lineups for the Bucks. Senior number 1, Jarrett Fairley. Senior number 4, Seneca Robinson. Senior number 5, Saline London. Senior number 15, Austin Dudley. Senior number 55, Dwayne Brown. And your head coach is Scott Ware.
And the starting lineups. Matter of fact, the roster is being introduced to the crowd here inside Legacy Arena. Mickey Shadricks and Bart Heitch back courtside with you, getting set for this 7A boys semifinal matchup. The winner of this one, Bart, punches their ticket to the state championship game on Saturday. What an intriguing matchup we have here today as Coach Charles Burkett goes up against his former assistant, Coach Ware, the team he coached at for 14 years. How do you see this matchup between Hoover and Central-Phenix City?
Well, I think everyone as a basketball fan has wanted Central-Phenix City to be that team to challenge Hoover. You know, the last 2 or 3 years they've played each other. They know each other well. It's about Jacoby Hill. And in this game, when they've played it the last couple of years, Jacoby Hill has
He opens the scoring with a basket in the paint.
My B. We saw the first buckets.
Central-Phenix City goes at a very quick pace. And here, stumbling to the ground, was Jay Ford.
That's what you're going to see. You're going to see stops and run, but just the footwork of Brown, getting the jump stop, just the huge strength. If you look on any of his social media, when he makes a post, his post says, "This year is personal." He's been posting it all year. And you see right now, he got real personal on the interior there.
Blocking the shot of Jacoby Hill. Quickly back on the other end, Seneca Robinson. Hoover racing out to a quick 4-0 lead.
And Robinson's another one of those unsung guards that doesn't get a ton of credit, just like Jarrett Fairley. And Austin Dudley is that defensive X-factor guy, plays his role well. But you've got 4 capable guys that can score in bunches for Central-Phenix City, but see Coach Scott Ware. I want to see Central-Phenix City score in the half court. That's what's so hard to do against Hoover with all that size and length and Brown, if you will.
Drive right over Brown. What a job there by Desmond Williams, scoring over the big fella.
Used his body. That wasn't a scared take right there, partner.
No, a very brave take. Brown at 6'9". Here is London. He is a fantastic player. The UAB sign. He goes in and scores his first bucket.
Better going right than people give him credit for being a lefty. This matchup here with Williams, I think you're going to see Williams try to take a lot of these Hoover guys. Remember, he's guarding off the dribble. Plays bigger than he is.
Three-point shot attempt is no good from London, and the rebound taken by Ford.
Yeah, they're just going to continuously push and make Brown run, but that's the thing. Once he does get a block, here goes Hoover.
The eraser, Dwayne Brown, has affected 2 shots already here in the first 2 minutes of this game. London dishes out to Robinson, who drives, has it stripped by Hill.
Yeah, and see, so we're already 2 minutes into this game. No touches for Jacoby Hill on offense. That was the first time he's touched the basketball. Got to get active early. There he is. Steal. That was Hill, almost.
Three-point shot, banked in by Fairley. He'll take it.
He will take it. He's actually been shooting it really well this year. Probably didn't mean to smooch that one. But that was the knock on Jarrett Fairley the last couple of years, was his outside shooting. Worked on it hard this year. And every film I saw watching this Hoover team, he was making shots collectively.
There have always been a few ready to fight and win for our nation. For 250 years, Marines have proudly served this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
Step on London, and you're right, that left hand knocking the ball out of there.
Jacoby Hill's not nearly as explosive going left, and London knows that, but that's just a face-up and jab. Knock down the shot. Yeah, get it out of there.
Yeah, Hoover's interior defense has been tough here in the early going. Shot missed. And the Bucks limit the Red Devils to 1 shot attempt. All the way to the hoop. Bank shot left short by Fairley, and scramble for the loose ball, a jump ball. Arrow will keep the ball with Hoover. There's a look at Coach Ware, his team going for the three-peat. And, you know, he was a long-time assistant for Charles Burkett when Coach Burkett was the head coach at Hoover, so these two know each other very well. Coach Burkett told me, he said, look, I hate to play these guys. I love them. I love the kids. I love the school. I love Coach Ware. But when we play, we gotta try to beat them, and that's what they're here for. They're not here to admire their state championship rings. They're here to beat them. And it's going to be a challenge as London gets his second bucket of the game.
Well, he's not the only one that hates to play these guys. For the last 3 years, a lot of people have hated playing them. And there you see, Jacoby Hill will be the creator. They'll double him, and if he pitches it out, you can get some open shots. But right now, Hoover's just quicker. Defense is quicker, the urgency is quicker. And here is the guy that is the X factor for this team to me. Jackson Sheffield has continued to grow. He's 7 foot tall now. But if he's not, he's close to it. He's the second rim protector. This year, he's been ready, as Coach Scott Ware said, to come in and play with Dwayne Brown. Look at the length for this Hoover 7A high school basketball team. 2 guys over 6'9".
And then you throw in London with his height. Brown, nice touch.
Boy, be happy if you're a Tennessee fan watching.
Step back 3 is off the mark by Ford. And again, only 1 shot and a long challenge 3-pointer to boot. London steps, baseline shot, no good. Brown taps it away, but he's over the back of Solo Williams. His real name is Solomon. They call him Solo. So nice box out there by Solo Williams. Already to our first quarter media break. Hoover off to a fast start. They lead Central-Phenix City by 11.
It's a new year, and there is no better way to start it than with a new Nissan from Sarah Nissan. Don't miss your chance to save thousands this new year on hundreds of new Nissans. Take home a new 2024 Nissan Murano with 0% APR or up to $7,500 cash savings. Or a new Nissan Frontier with 2.9% APR. Drive off in a new 2025 Nissan Rogue with 3.39% APR. New year, new Nissan. Discover yours today from Sarah Nissan with 3 locations in Birmingham, Sylacauga, and Coleman.
Matthews and Martha's Christian Academy is now open, and we are accepting the first 15 children to come attend. Have a great day.
And there's a look at Central-Phenix City head coach Charles Burkett in his 4th season. He's got the Red Devils back here for the 3rd time. Coach Burkett's back to Birmingham for the 9th time. He brought Sachs High School here back in 05 and 06, back-to-back years. Brought Hoover here 4 years, and then he's 3 years with Central-Phenix City. And Scott Ware, again, trying to take home a state championship for the 3rd year in a row.
Sachs up near your way, huh?
Yeah, Coach Burkett brought Sachs here in 05-06. They lost in the championship game to Hillcrest in 06. They were 2 for 21 from 3 in that game and still only lost in overtime. Coach Burkett said that loss sticks with him as much as any loss he's ever had. Foul on the break here against the Red Devils. Coach Burkett saying, hey, let's move it, let's move it. And you mentioned number 0 there, who he was talking to, Jacoby Hill. If they have a shot today, Bart, he cannot disappear. He's got to be very involved in this game.
Well, and it's how do you get him going? Do you do it in the half court? They're going to come doubling. He's an excellent passer. The motor, to get him going, it's got to start on the defensive end for Central-Phenix City and then get some stops, get out in transition. You got to make Jackson Sheffield and Dwayne Brown run, especially with this big lineup. Now, they can run. I'm not saying they can't, but you can't get out if you can't get stops. So on the defensive end, this Hoover team offensively is as talented. And Brown is the reason, because he's the ultimate equalizer.
And rebounding, obviously. I mean, they're already +5 in rebounding. Brown gets the rebound and brings it down himself.
Absolutely, fundamental.
You mentioned he's a Tennessee signee. Will be headed to play for Coach Barnes in Knoxville.
Good fit. There's your high-low we were talking about earlier, and you see the development of Sheffield. Now, he obviously had someone smaller on him. Catch, turn, finish. He's starting to get some serious looks from Power 4 programs as well.
That's a pretty impressive 1-2 punch there. A little high-low game between those two big guys.
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to deal with it? You know, and that's what Florence is sitting here looking at right now, because this is the most dangerous thing to me, including Brown, who can get out and run. It's the Hoover transition game. And now you got to call a timeout because it's danger time. It's past danger time here in this first quarter.
We have set for Central-Phenix City.
A huge run here by Hoover. London gets it ahead, and then the lob and the finish by Brown. And Hoover on a 15-0 run over the last 4+ minutes of this game. You know, there were some people who thought, well, Hoover, are they due for a letdown after that huge emotional win in the Northeast Regional Final over Huntsville, which many people thought might be your 7A state championship matchup. No letdown in the first couple of minutes of this game, or first few minutes of this game.
I've been in this seat for the last 2 state championships. I've watched this team grow. I watched them when they were babies, if you will, is what Coach Scott Ware called. He said, it's just a bunch of babies. I remember before that game, they came out here and dominated. And last year, I picked against them. Thought Huntsville might be able to get over that hump. Huntsville doesn't make it to play Hoover. And then now all these guys are older. They're seniors. They played. And we're watching it, and I'm not going to sit here and not say that we might be watching the greatest boys dynasty in front of our eyes in the history of Alabama high school basketball. But Ron Ingram did say back in 1933, 34 and 35, that the Geraldine Bulldogs, well, I'd like to see how those Geraldine Bulldogs match up against the size and athleticism of Hoover. Look at this. This will be a highlight.
London all the way.
He gets on that right side of the floor going downhill left and attacks the rim. But Dwayne Brown, his body's better. As he's grown, he's lost some of that baby fat, and now he's getting the ball off the board and off of turnovers and getting out and running. Big shot. Big
3 there from Jay Ford, who shoots 40% from 3, and Jacoby Hill comes up with the steal in the backcourt. Offensive foul on the screen by DJ Harris. Another look at the take here by Salim London, who has 6 points here in this first quarter.
Well, nice look there by Ford. Good 3-point shooter. Central-Phenix City's always got that one sniper type guy that can make shots. But London has just continued to get better in that left hand. When he gets going downhill, he is so tricky with that ball that you see across screen and now high-low action. That's what they do, and there's not a whole lot you can do. That's just 6'6" to 6'11", guard hitting on the left side, and know what they do well. It can get hot now.
Another nice shot from Jay Ford. Back-to-back buckets as we go under 1 minute to play here in this first quarter. Yeah, this is quite a front line with Sheffield, Brown, and London out there.
Yeah, and then now you've got London coming off the ball screen. And if that's happening, if that's going in, there's nobody that's going to be Hoover this weekend. Salim's making shots. That has been the knock on him. He's worked on his game as well. Shooting at around 30% now. But here's where Salim London is so dynamic in the open break, knowing when to go score, when not to. But think about it like this, Mickey. You know, he looked at time and score there. He looked up and he saw 30 seconds. I'm up 18. Well, Coach Ware doesn't have the same thing to him. This guy's been playing. He knows that. He's going to dribble the clock out. He's going to come off the ball screen, probably get downhill left hand and throw a lob to Dwayne Brown for a dunk.
They sag. He shoots, misses this three, and Brown with the tip in.
What is the luxury? Even if you miss it, you know you got him down there.
And Jacoby Hill finally takes a shot, but it's at the buzzer and no good. Into the first quarter. The Hoover Bucks, 28-8 lead over Central-Phenix City. Here from Legacy Arena.
For over 20 years, Hollis Wright has been turning setbacks into comebacks. Make no mistake, who you hire after an accident will define your comeback. Pick a trusted firm that knows how to win. Let Hollis Wright tell your comeback story.
You know, I'm a person too.
At Hollis Wright, we don't cut corners when helping our clients. Financial resources matter, and we know it. If it's a car accident, a work injury, or a defective product, we have the resources to help. Let Hollis Wright tell your comeback story.
Well, a 10-point first quarter from Hoover big man Dwayne Brown on 5 of 5 shooting. Meanwhile, London with 9 points on 4 of 7 shooting, and Hoover with a very impressive first quarter as we get set for second quarter action. 28-8. Jacoby Hill will inbound for Central-Phenix City. Brown getting a breather on the Hoover bench.
I like that extra little timeout for Brown. He's had an excellent first quarter. Why not leave him here up 20 a little bit? Maybe resting him for today, but more importantly, maybe resting him for that final when you know Florence is going to try to get out and run so much.
Long shot off the mark by Tyjor Cooper, who shoots 38% from 3. Missed that shot, and missed layup at the other end by Fairley. So here comes Jacoby Hill in the open court. Takes it all the way and banks it in.
Jack State fans, you might be one of those. You're going to like that. The hesitation move, the length, that's the assertiveness that when Jacoby Hill gets it going, it stays engaged like that. Really hard to guard, especially in the transition games.
Yeah, as you said, headed to play for Coach Ray Harper and the Jack State Gamecocks out of Conference USA. Three-point shot is good. Knocking it down, Austin Dudley, a 41% shooter from deep this season.
X factor. We talked about it. He's that roll guy, but he's going to get open looks with all the double teams you see coming at Brown. Sometimes they'll double Sheffield as well. Right now, London and Brown getting extra rest as the lead grows a minute and a half in. This is the matchup that Coach wants right here. He really thinks that Williams can go and score it against anyone. And Copper makes a three. Central-Phenix City settling in their offense a little bit. Just dug themselves such a big hole. Hard to get out of.
Sheffield calling for it, and it's picked off by Williams. The lob at the other end, and the flush by Bryce Dawson, his first basket of the game.
That is Central-Phenix City basketball. Turn people over, and Jacoby Hill anxious right there. see here the steal. Get out and run, find your teammate, and quickly, see no look at it, but quickly you see Brown and London back in the game now. And that mini run, 5-0 for Central-Phenix City. Horn set here. Got a slip screen, up screen. Touch on the block. Central-Phenix City did a good job blocking that, but the passing wasn't there. Now you're just going to get a touch. Probably see a double come here. There's no way you're going to single.
Hey, that's
Coach
not a bad strategy if you're Copper, right? Hit the deck and hope for the offensive foul.
And look at Coach Ware's got his hands in his pocket. He just immediately put his hands in his pockets. That's old Walker County move. When you're mad, Walker County, put your hands in your pockets.
I can read his lips. You got to be kidding me.
But hey, look, I played that way. All right, I was littler than everybody else, especially in college. And like, if you give me an opportunity to get the other team's best player or biggest player their second foul in that situation, I'm going to put the official in that. And he was sold it. Sold it 100%. But that is the second foul now on Dwayne Brown. A big shot here. And maybe a turnover. Going left again. Salim London forcing Jacoby Hill left, which is not as strong as his right. Calls that turnover.
Nice job by Hill getting back, though, and defending on the shot attempt. Central-Phenix City is going to get it back.
Well, and the luxury that you have if you're Coach Scott Ware, he knows Dwayne Brown's got 2 fouls. One, Brown's experienced. He's been able to play without fouling throughout the course of his career. I don't ever remember Dwayne Brown being in foul trouble. But you have Jackson Sheffield, another 6'11" player over there. Now he's probably going to get him out as I say that, just to be safe. Showtime.
Boy, you got to like London, don't you? He is a good-looking player.
He absolutely is. People have heard me say played against his dad, who's in the stands behind us a little bit of the ways down. Tariq London, point guard at Alabama. Now, Tariq couldn't fly high like that. I always ask, he must have got hops from mama. If you shot fake right there, that's a 3rd foul. Right there, young kids. The big's got 2. You got him in the air. Shot fake him and let him land on you.
That's a big what if had the Red Devils been able to pull that 3rd foul off, but instead London spins in the lane, lost it, kicks it over to Fairley, who drives baseline. Reverse layup is good. The foul as well. Dawson got him on the arm as we take a look at London here on the breakaway. And the finish at the other end. Salim London now with 11 points. And here the nice baseline reverse layup by Jarrett Fairley. And he's at the line for Black Diamond Asphalt and Paving free throws. And the free throw is good. Fairley now with 6 points. Hoover with a 36-15 lead at the midway point of our 2nd quarter.
They're forcing him left. Now, here's where Hill's dynamic. Get him going right. Look at Sheffield. That's... How many teams do you know, Nikki, that when their 6'10" big goes out with 2 fouls, you bring a 6'11" in and shut things in? Wow.
It is a luxury for Coach Ware, whose team has a commanding lead here in the 2nd quarter.
There's a lot in life to smile about. Are loose dentures or missing teeth keeping you from enjoying the things you love? Don't miss out on enjoying life's precious moments. You can be you again with affordable mini dental implants. You can smile again, laugh out loud, and have your self-confidence back. Let us help you make it memorable.
I'm Dr. Rick Redmond. Call me today for a free consultation and give me the opportunity to change your life.
And the Hoover Bucks shooting a sizzling 71% from the field here in the first half out-rebounding Central-Phenix City 13-8, and they've got a 36-15 lead here, just under 4 to play in the first half. The winner of this one advances to the 7A Boys Championship game Saturday night to take on Muscle Shoals. That'll be the final game of the state basketball tournament here inside Legacy Arena. That game scheduled to tip off Saturday evening at around 5:45.
It will be Florence. Not Muscle Shoals.
I'm sorry, Florence.
Yeah,
I'm thinking the Shoals area.
No, you're thinking Mark Sears. We were talking about him earlier.
I know it.
But the Quad Cities are close. Look at this set out of the half court, or out of the timeout. Sheffield could not finish it. But see, that's the one where Jackson Sheffield might not quite be ready. The one thing that's not as good about Sheffield is Brown. Dwayne Brown may have the best hands of a big man in the history of the state of Alabama that I've ever seen, other than DeMarcus Cousins. And Browns are close to that, hands-wise. But see, Coach Burkett there has to like the way his team has picked it up in the second quarter. But when you get down 20-2, they've been even in the second quarter, right? But these opening starts for Hoover just so overwhelming for teams.
Hoover riding a 43-game winning streak dating back to last year. Here is Jacoby Hill in the open court.
He's got a good look in his eye today. I like where his mind is. He's got to somehow creep up around 30, 35 points. More touches. Just look at the quickness and athleticism there. I always said he could have been an amazing receiver as well if he played football, but just high flyer.
Hill made the steal on the inbound and then finished himself. Quite a play there by Hill, who averages 24 points per game. Has 4 here on 2 for 4 from the field. Just not many shot attempts for Hill so far. As Sheffield misses, follow no good. Rebound taken by Williams. Here's Hill again. Goes all the way. Shot is swatted away by Fairley, but a foul on the floor. I believe they're going to get Seneca Robinson for the personal.
Jacoby Hill asserting himself. See here, taking the bump. That's the D1 strength you see, and not being knocked off his spot. And it's a quick teaching point there on Jackson Sheffield. Got his glasses knocked off, probably had some contact. It's 7A, not going to get called there, but the difference again, what you see from Brown and what you're not seeing from Sheffield yet that you will, how deep he posed. He caught that ball in maybe the middle of the lane and then had to go make a move. When Dwayne Brown catches it, he catches it basically under the basket. He'll post you up into that AHSAA TV network one over there if you're not careful.
Hill with a long 3 over Brown. What a shot as Jacoby Hill starting to heat up here.
He's the guy now, and he's talented enough to go get one if he's making shots just about whenever he wants. And that's the shot right there. You're okay right now. Let's see what Jacoby, take it to the rack, fella. Go create.
Fairley with the block on the shot attempt from Jay Ford in the corner.
Wow. In the house, we were talking about Salim, London's dad, Tariq, shout out. Well, we had some battles back in the day. I remember one night in Tuscaloosa just going back and forth. And that man liked to talk now. He liked to talk. I talked back a little bit to him. We developed a good friendship and he's at every one of his son's games. He and his wife, great career. Coming to an end this week in Birmingham, but he's trying to add one more map. Is number 5 on cue.
London with a little Euro step. He's fouled on the way to the basket and will head to the free throw line. Dawson with the personal foul on London, who's had a great first half, 11 points on 5 of 9 shooting, and will head it to the line for more Black Diamond Asphalt and Paving free throws.
He's as good of a left-hander coming from the right side of the floor in secondary break, getting fouled or finishing. Maybe I've called him this. I mean, it's not the same thing because Latrell Sprewell was a lot more athletic. But I remember Wimp Sanderson talking about, and Richard Williams, my old coach, would say, let me tell you something, man. When Latrell Sprewell caught that thing on the left side of the floor and he decided to go right, there wasn't nothing to do about it. And that's kind of how it is with Salim. but his is more the tricks with the ball. He gets that ball up high, and when the arms in contact come, he has just a unique way because he's left-handed. He only guard it 10% of the time, if that.
Locked up on Jacoby Hill again. Sheffield comes out. They get it out of Hill's hands.
That's how you hedge a ball screen. With this matchup, now see, watch Sheffield. These Hoover bigs like to take this challenge, but not then. Ford's a shooter now.
Brings the Red Devil crowd to their feet here inside Legacy Arena. Robinson trying to answer, missing, tapped around. Sheffield has it not loose, and it comes out, and Central-Phenix City's got it.
This thing could be a 10-point game here in a minute, partner. It's 11 now. Well, how about this run?
Solo Williams with a finish. His first basket of the game as Hoover hasn't scored in the last 3 minutes. And Central-Phenix City has taken advantage. We're under 1 minute to play. What a run here in the first half, and it's taken away. Nice steal there by Ford.
Don't do too much here. Oh, my.
Boy, he just missed that.
That would have been really big.
You could hear the sigh from
everybody's
the crowd.
Yeah, I love this timeout by Coach Ware. First one he's called. Settle him down.
Timeout on the floor with 35 seconds to go. Here's a look at the previous finish. Solo Williams taking it all the way to the house, and then check out the three-pointer though. Creating the space with a dribble. And a Department of Human Resources three-pointer by Jay Ford, who's hit 3 of those threes here in the first half.
Yeah, and you can tell it's going in, it looks like it's going to go in hard. When he shoots the basketball. But you got to have more of that. You know, when you find those matchups, Sheffield was out on him. Sheffield should not be able to guard a guard, especially a shooter, but the long crossover ability of Ford making shots. Love the ponytails, too.
Central-Phenix City has made 5 threes. Yeah, you could still do it. It'll take you a little time.
And boy, that thing had come off. I'd look like, what was old boy? Oh, Magua in Last of the Mohicans. I'd look like Magua.
Final shot time here for Hoover. Again, they haven't scored in the last 3 minutes as they try to end the half with a basket. But this little run by the Red Devils have made things interesting here in this 7A boys semifinal. Inside to Brown.
So he was further out that time, not as deep. He got a foul, and I like that call. I like that call. An effort play to end the half by Dudley, and we'll see if it was a foul or not. Ford's saying it shouldn't have been, but we'll have to take a look. There was contact here. It was just an effort play. We talked about the X-Factor glue guy, Dudley.
Dudley at the line.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a foul.
Frustrating to Coach Burkett because it came right at the buzzer, but yeah, clearly Ford stepping in the way and affecting the shot attempt off the rebound from Austin Dudley.
Yeah, in a physical game, sorry to interrupt, partner, in a physical game like this, that play right there, now all of a sudden that lead's going to be 12 or 13 when you got one more stop. They didn't score in 5 minutes, or close to it. Maybe one bucket. And how about this? Just cerebral, get Brown out of the game. Let's make sure nothing crazy happens.
And get him to that locker room with only 2 fouls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a big call. You're right. Those are 2 big points there for Hoover. It gives him a little bit of momentum to end the half, but
Dudley made a game-winning play, and you get the first foul on Ford.
That'll take us to halftime. Hoover heads to the locker room with a 40-27 lead over Central-Phenix City. You're watching the AHSAA State Basketball Championships from Legacy Arena.
For over 20 years, Hollis Wright has been turning setbacks into comebacks. Make no mistake, Who you hire after an accident will define your comeback. Pick a trusted firm that knows how to win. Let Hollis Wright tell your comeback story.
Mr. President, Bessemer Superhighway is backed up. What are we going to do?
Are you serious? Get me the King Boys.
King Boys Towing is the fastest growing tow and recovery company in Birmingham and surrounding areas for one reason. Our customers are our top priority. Whether your car's been in an accident, is stuck in the driveway and won't start, or you just need a tow to your preferred repair shop, give us a call. Our fleet of flatbed tow trucks will provide courteous and fast service. King Boys Towing, 205-428-3235.
With Amana brand, there's a level of trust, letting you focus on what matters most. So it's no surprise that the Amana brand S-Series heating and cooling system is exactly the kind of year-round comfort you'll feel, but hardly notice. Take comfort. It's an Amana brand.
There's a lot in life to smile about. Are loose dentures or missing teeth keeping you from enjoying the things you love? Don't miss out on enjoying life's precious moments. You can be you again with affordable mini dental implants. You can smile again, laugh out loud, and have your self-confidence back. Let us help you make it memorable.
I'm Dr. Rick Redmond. Call me today for a free consultation and give me the opportunity to change your life.
From Mobile to Florence, from Auburn to Tuscaloosa, for all your commercial or private paving needs, is Alabama's premier surfacing company. 20 years experience has the equipment and personnel to handle any job anywhere in the state of Alabama. Call 205-648-3117.
It's a new year, and there's no better way to start it than with a new Ford from Tony Sarah Ford. Don't miss your chance to save thousands this new year on hundreds of new Fords. Take home a new Ford F-150 with 4.9% APR and $3,350 in retail bonus cash. Or a new Ford Edge, get up to $5,000 in retail customer cash. Drive off in a new Ford Bronco Raptor. Save up to $10,000 off MSRP. New year, new Ford. Discover yours today from Tony Sarah Ford in Silicaga.
At Hollis Wright, we don't cut corners when helping our clients. Financial resources matter, and we know it. If it's a car accident, a work injury, or a defective product, we have the resources to help. Let Hollis Wright tell your comeback story.
Welcome back to Legacy Arena in Birmingham. We're at halftime of the second 7A boys semifinal, trying to determine who will play Florence for the state championship on Saturday. Right now, Hoover, the two-time defending champion, they have a 13-point lead over Central-Phenix City, but Central has made a spirited comeback. Hoover jumped out strong early, was up by 20 at the end of the first quarter, but the Red Devils not fazed by the Bucks. This is the third straight year they've played them here in the Final Four. They're trying to stage what would be the biggest upset of the year, maybe nationally in high school basketball, if they could come back and take down Hoover. All right, we are pleased again to be joined by the executive director of the Alabama High School Athletic Association, Heath Harmon. This is the first time you've gotten to preside over the state basketball finals in your new role. What's stood out to you so far this week? We're on day 4 of 6 here in Birmingham.
Just the talented teams that we have. You know, anytime you bring the best teams in the state to the same spot, and you have them playing at their best because they've made it through regional tournaments, and so you've got some really good basketball going on right now.
What does it mean to the state? We talked about the Hoover boys. They're undefeated. They're trying to do something that no large school in the state has done since, I've got it in my notes, 2002, 2003, John Carroll went undefeated in 6A before there were 7 classes. What is it? Hoover's ranked nationally. They played nationally. They played a tournament in Alaska. We saw it with the Central-Phenix City girls in flag football. And Garrett Griggs played for the basketball team earlier today against Hoover. I don't know that there's a sport that she doesn't play. But when they bring that kind of recognition to Alabama high school athletics, what does it mean across the state?
Well, it's a big deal, you know, because it shows you what kind of talent we have. And, you know, it goes back to the school, the community that supports them, the coaches, the student athletes. we have a great product, and I think that's just artifacts. Like you said at a meeting the other day, you're going to bring the receipts. So that's a receipt.
That's right. You got plenty of receipts on that score. Now, you get to do something that's really fun. I know you have to handle a lot of small fires and people tugging at you throughout the week, but part of the highlight for you is getting to be there for the trophy presentations. We're going to shift to championship games this afternoon. The next game will be the 1A Girls Championship game, followed by the 1A Boys. What was your memory of the Super 7 in football, those moments when those teams come rushing at you to get that blue map?
Yeah, well, you think you can prepare yourself for that, but you really can't. But it is the culmination of, a team that had a dream, an aspiration. They put a lot of work into it. They don't get there accidentally. And so for them to see the culmination of that and win that trophy, that's a pretty special moment to be up close and personal with them when they do that. So that's special.
Do you get a little emotional yourself? I know sometimes I do watching them, just the looks on their faces.
I do, and just to see the way that through these tournaments or through these championship games, even prior to that, just the sportsmanship, I think that's such a big deal, because to see how they handle that. But the goal, they're there to win that trophy and to be able to hand that to them. That's pretty cool.
Well, you'll be doing that in just a little while here in Legacy Arena. Like I said, we're going to switch also, just a programming note. After this game, we're going to switch to Alabama Public Television. All the championship games will come to you on APT, starting with that 1A girls final. Spring Garden going for a third straight state championship against Brilliant, followed by R.C. Hatch and Brantley. And R.C. Hatch, by the way, has won as many state championships as anyone in basketball. Any school in the state, they're tied with St. Jude with 10. We'll see if they can get another one. Heath Harmon, thank you. We'll be back for the second half of Hoover in Central-Phenix City.
With Amana brand, there's a level of trust, letting you focus on what matters most. So it's no surprise that the Amana brand S-Series heating and cooling system is exactly the kind of year-round comfort you'll feel, but hardly notice. Take comfort. It's an Amana brand.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Uncle Marcus, will you tell us a story about King Boys again?
Sure. Well, it all started back in 2008.
2008?
We didn't have all the fancy towing equipment we do now, but we did have a service and a desire to help our customers. You see, kids, you must train your mind and your body to be able to help the people you call customers. When they call on us, it's showtime. Understand me. King Boys' mission is to help when people are in need. So what's our motto, children?
King Boys forever!
I was in a car accident. My front tooth cracked. I'm definitely embarrassed to smile. I got mini dental implants. It changed my life because it made me feel like me. Like I can smile and feel like Ashley. I just want to say thank you.
You can be you again with mini dental implants. I'm Dr. Rick Redmond. Call me today for a free consultation and give me the opportunity to change your life.
I'm more than happy. I'm ecstatic.
Hey, I'm D. Ford. And I'm Wayne Hayes. We want you to join our TV show every day, Monday through Friday, from 6 to 7 in the afternoon.
Boy, we were looking forward to it, having a lot of fun with some good country music and gospel music and some good local talent from everywhere, D.
We want you to watch our TV show right here on WOTM 21 in Silicaga, Alabama.
Y'all come out and see us and be watching us every night. We're looking forward to it.
Reruns from 4:30 to 5:30 in the mornings to WOTM TV 21. Tell all your friends about it. The D. Ford Show coming your way.
It's a new year, and there's no better way to start it than with a new Ford from Tony Sarah Ford. Don't miss your chance to save thousands this new year on hundreds of new Fords. Take home a new Ford F-150 with 4.9% APR and $3,350 in retail bonus cash. Or a new Ford Edge, get up to $5,000 in retail customer cash. Drive off in a new Ford Bronco Raptor. Save up to $10,000 off MSRP. New year, new Ford. Discover yours today from Tony Sarah Ford in Silicaga.
welcome back inside Legacy Arena. We are getting set for second half action of this 7A boys semifinal matchup between Hoover and Central-Phenix City. Mickey Shadricks and Bart Heights rejoining you courtside. And Bart, that was a turnaround second quarter for Central-Phenix City after being outscored 28-8 in the first period. They rebounded to win the second quarter 19-12, and they're in the game.
They are in the game. That last possession, a little disappointing if you're Central-Phenix City, but got to get stops early in this second half. Blockouts key. Excellent start. String some stops. You need about 5 of 7 stops. Get this thing down around 6. The crowd will get into it because everybody's going to be pulling against Hoover that's not for Hoover.
And the young man with the ball had a big first half. Jay Ford with 3 threes.
That sounded like Carl Ravitch there.
Hill misses the long 3. Well, that would have been big had that gone down, but London instead with a rebound as the Bucks again hold the Red Devils to just 1 shot attempt.
Yeah, and one of the reasons Andy Kennedy likes Salim London so much is he's not afraid to go rebound. 3 today, but he can play point guard. What is really his position? I think he's more of an off guard, but I think you're going to see him play the point some in college. And here's the sideline out of bounds, little back screen, post-up option, and that's got to be a foul.
So just underway here in the third quarter, and Salim London will head to the free throw line for more Black Diamond Asphalt and Paving free throws as he tries to extend the Bucks lead here early in period number 3. And he knocks down the first. London with 13 points in the first half to lead Hoover in scoring. Brown with 10 on 5 of 6 shooting. Matter of fact, Brown scored all of his points in that first quarter. Only took 1 shot in that 12-point second quarter for Hoover.
No ball!
Little box action here. Central going to bring Jacoby off a double and try to get a slip. Scouted, guarded by Hoover. Great defense. Now he'll continue the motion. 5 out, trying to get Brown outside of the lane and keep him moving. Make him come out and guard right here. Keep him out there. Now you can drive in on smaller people. I like where Coach Burkett's mind's at.
Foul on the Bucks, and Central-Phenix City will inbound. Jay Ford to trigger it in. Gets it back on the left wing. Drives in the paint, kicks it in the corner. This is Alford. His 3 is no good. Alford, the quarterback on the Central-Phenix City football team,
Euro.
starting the second half.
He's a good-looking athlete.
Here comes Hill. It's a 3-on-2.
Like this pitch. Peace.
London actually hustled down and blocked it as Ford never saw him coming.
Jacoby Hill that time. Young kids out there, if you get caught up in one of those scrums and you're the offensive team where everybody's got their hands on the ball and you think it's about to be a jump ball, just go up. You've got possession, go up. You're the offensive team. A lot of times the official call a foul. Foul was called there. Nice inbound set.
Boy, Jacoby Hill crashing the glass. Couldn't come away with the rebound up. Here comes London.
Oh, nice block.
Got it back, stayed with it.
Yeah, and London and Dawson played so much basketball against each other. You can see them competing back and forth, a couple of smiles. Ball went London's way that time. And look at the outlet opportunity as they get a little turnover, easy basket. But here we go again, just like the girls' game.
3-on-1, lob, and the finish by Dwayne Brown.
Ability to get out in transition, the ultimate equalizer for Hoover.
Hill has the shot blocked by Brown, his 3rd block of the day. Hoover throws it away. Dawson's got it. Ford, 3-pointer, no good. Brown with a rebound.
It's danger time right now for Central-Phenix City because look at the end of this play. Central-Phenix City's having the pressure because they're down. Hoover knows that. They're just pitching the ball out, getting outlet passes, and Salim London in the open court when he knows where 55 is. The feel these two guys have for each other the last 3 years is dynamic and extremely special.
Jonah Jones is in the game for Coach Burkett, and Dawson will take a seat. Robinson across half court, guarded tightly by Ford. Now draws Jones on the switch inside to Brown. Huge mismatch here. No help comes, and Brown calmly banks it in.
The patience. You know, a lot of big guys would try to just muscle their way to the basket. Dwayne Brown, the field game is slow for him. They've already flopped on him once and gotten a foul, and that time he just used his body, didn't create enough contact for a foul to be called. He's a special big now. I mean, since DeMarcus Cousins, Mickey, you remember Biggs? Look at the patience here. And that's just a basketball move. That's not an elbow. I mean, there's no way you can get in the basket if there was contact, but just such a good player, active player. Nice inbounds basket for Central-Phenix City.
Williams got the bucket on the inbound. 48-31, Hoover, 17-point lead, looking for more. Corner three is good. That was Austin Dudley on the Alabama DHR three-pointer. Back down on the other end. Hill misses, but the putback for Jonah Jones, and Coach Burkett calls a timeout with 4:09 to go here in the third. We'll take the break as well. You're watching live coverage of the AHSAA State Basketball Championships.
I need the King boys.
Don't call two clowns in a tow truck when you're dreaming of them King boys.
The all-new Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our remodeled and expanded pharmacy gives us the space to serve more patients. We've added a drive-through window for those times when you don't feel like getting out of your vehicle. And we still offer delivery within city limits. We feature a full line of over-the-counter medications and supplements. And don't forget our stunning new gift department. New building, same great people. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
And a quick start here for Hoover in the third quarter. They've expanded their lead to 51-33. Mickey Shadricks and Bart Heitch with you courtside. And, you know, Central-Phenix City, you kind of get the feeling that they're in a very important part of this game if they want to hang in there with the Bucks here in the second half.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's an 18-point lead, and it seems like that Central's energy has really picked up in this game. But you look up, and it's up to 18.
Yeah.
But these transition baskets, when you try to pressure Hoover, they throw it in Dwayne Brown. He can see over the defense. But Seneca Robinson has been another guy. He's played on this team for 3 years, has the ball in his hands. We don't talk about him a lot. 4 points, 3 rebounds, and assists. Initiates the offense, gets some almost to go, and handles the pressure.
Brown shoots over Jones for another basket. That's 2 buckets here in the third period for Dwayne Brown, who scored 10 in the first period. Dawson, little sidestep jumper, no good. London with the rebound. Well, he can get the rebound and lead the break quickly. And opening on the baseline, and the finger roll from Robinson.
A little slow down shimmy from triple threat from Robinson. Shake of the shoulders. Yeah, it's danger time now. And this is when we saw Phoenix City just really lose a lot of energy last year. Was about this time when the lead just started growing, the transition started happening, and Hoover is going for the kill shot right now. And now you bring in another 6'10". I mean, it just weighs on you, the length, speed.
Yeah, when they have London, Brown, and Sheffield in there together, that's an imposing front line. Ford, step back three, no good. Brown with the rebound, winds up with London.
And we look at Brown's numbers today, 16 and 7, 8 of 9 from the field. No free throws for the big fella today, but he's just gotten so consistent. He was consistent early in his young career, but See Coach Scott Ware, they work so hard on the post work and so many reps getting him the ball in those different high-low situations. But his body has gotten so much slimmer. And you see a body up there, body's up and stays long, just a big-time high school players under 55.
And Brown affected the shot attempt that time from Williams. Under 3 to go here in the third period. Sheffield, a little high-low action, and Hoover has ran that very effectively today.
Yes, they have, and they haven't. Good contest there by Brown affected that shot. Ball will stay here. But that high-low action, the one thing, like, Dwayne Brown is usually receiving that pass, and I think the ability to throw that pass is something he'll have at the next level. Tennessee loves to go high-low. They don't really have a high-low option now, but you think about a guy from Alabama, from Jacksonville, Cade Phillips, who 100% will be playing with Dwayne Brown, 2 Alabama kids in the post for Tennessee.
Knocked away from
Two state
behind.
champions.
Exactly. Forward in the open court. Just does get
I
that
love
three
that.
over the outstretched arm of Dwayne Brown, but he got it to go down for the Alabama DHR three-pointer.
Yeah, he's not afraid to let one fly. And now all of a sudden you bring the double, you got numbers. That's what's so hard about Hoover. And like that was all just Salim London knew there was a double team coming. He knows this team that he's played against well. When the double team comes, you've got an automatic advantage.
Step back three is good for Copper. You know the thing about London, I think, that I'm noticing watching him courtside today is there's no wasted motion with Salim London. Everything is done with purpose. You rarely see the guy waste any energy, waste any motion. See why UAB is happy to have this guy coming to play for them.
He is always under control. He's cerebral. Father was a point guard. He's been taught the game, but he just plays at his own pace, if that makes sense. And he's got a burst. And with that length and left, it makes him really difficult to guard after his hesitation moves and gets long and up on that rim. I've really enjoyed watching number 5 play for Coach Scott Ware the last 3 years.
And a substitution for Coach Wares. He will send Dudley into the game, and Robinson will come out after a nice stint on the floor here in the third period. Hill with the ball, been quiet here in the third quarter, drives and comes out of his hands, but a foul called against London, and that will send number 0 to the free throw line for Black Diamond Asphalt and Paving free throws here with 1:09 to go here in the third.
And that's crazy that we're saying this, and I've said it in some other games. I don't think you've heard me say it, partner, but that's the first free throw of the game for Central-Phenix City. The ability to play without fouling. Went through it. Scott Bill's team, I was sitting on the bench in a 1A state final against Ricky Austin, who's coming up next. And Ace Austin was in the 7th grade on that team, and I remember that foul total ended up being 22-4. And I was really upset about that. It was 12-1, got a warning on the bench, but the reason was because Spring Garden was playing without fouling. And that's exactly what Hoover's doing, and it's a huge deal to understand, like, if I don't put this other team on the free throw line, they're going to have a hard time beating us. QB.
Alford's missed the three, and Copper had it knocked out from behind by Fairley. It'll remain with the Red Devils.
All right, so partner, it looks like with a 23-point lead, we're not going to pencil Hoover in with that kind of lead and the guard play they have. So what is, you asked me about the 7A girls, as when I say that, shot starts going in, but we'll wait a little bit till definitely after the third before we start talking about this matchup that potentially could happen.
Hoover easily,
it's a bad pass,
beats the press, but good defense there by Williams. Here comes the three-point shot, no good by Ford. And London dribbles out of trouble, gives it ahead to Fairley, who will pull it out and play for one. Ford with the reach in.
That'll be free throws.
Ford with the foul. At the line, shooting 2.
Coach Scott Ware, good friends with Charles Burkett. Interesting dynamic you don't see every day. These matchups that Coach Ware coached for him.
And was with Coach Burkett when Hoover won the
State
first 7A title in 2015.
And Coach Burkett's gone down south and continued the tradition of a great program in Central-Phenix City. They're no stranger to coming to Birmingham, but we're watching greatness. It's what we're watching from the Hoover Bucks.
Hill dribbles across half court, final seconds of the third period, pulls up, takes a tough three, wouldn't stay down, and shot after the buzzer, no good, and that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. Hoover will take a 22-point lead into the fourth quarter.
Hollis Wright has assembled one of the best trial teams in the state of Alabama. A team that doesn't quit, a team that never backs down, a team that has the skills to take your case all the way. Let Hollis Wright tell your comeback story.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
I've always heard, surround yourself in life with people that fight for you in rooms you're not in. That's what we do for our clients every single day. Hire a firm ready to advocate for you. Let Hollis Wright tell your comeback story.
And our ABC board play of the game. Take a look at this one, Bart.
Just a pitch and high above the rim. Dwayne Brown, he's always hanging around and open at the rim. But this is on the break, Mickey. And one of the reasons he's open on the break is because the big fella gets out and runs. His motor never stops running. He's had a business approach this entire season. He's a leader of this team now. He's vocal now. That wasn't the case as much when he was a sophomore. But he runs the floor, does all the little things, and he's going to play basketball. You hear me say it, but he's got an opportunity to play for a long time. And Tennessee's very fortunate to be having him coming in Knoxville.
18 points on 9 of 10 shooting, also 10 rebounds. Brown had 18 points and 14 rebounds in the regional final against Huntsville, so a very similar game here for Dwayne Brown.
Very similar game. Just a double-double machine at the high school level. Now, I am anxious to see how he protects the rim and how he is defensively in the SEC, because that's a completely different animal. But offensively, I mean, he's going to be fine. Deep as he posts, got a high backside that allows him to pin defenders. Oh, yeah, and he can just pass a little bit on the break, too, at 6'10". You know, 6'10 to 6'11, no big deal.
No trouble beating that press from Central-Phenix City that time. Hoover quickly back down the floor again with numbers, and London lays it in.
Too easy.
Yep. Hoover outscored Central-Phenix City 26-17 in that third quarter to kind of regain control of this game. It was just a 13-point game at halftime. Nice to Sheffield, left-handed finish.
He's still a little bit raw, but you can see the potential in big 35. You'll score that one.
Nice job by Hill as fairly hit the deck and no whistle, and Hill calmly banked it in. Quick timeout here by Central-Phenix City, Alabama Natural Gas Association. Timeout, just a little more than a minute into the fourth.
So who you got in the final if it stays this way?
Well, I tell you, what a show by Jalen Chandler. 41 points earlier today in the win over Fairhope, but you know, Fairhope's not Hoover, so.
They're not, and but I'm anxious to see who gets that draw. You know, who is Scott Ware going to put on him initially? They'll change some things up. Bryant James will have to make some shots in that game. Florence will have to get to the free throw line as well. But obviously Hoover's going to be a favorite in that game. Florence is a team that they haven't seen though. So here's some of that 41 you were talking about, partner.
Yeah, let's take a look at some highlights from the first boys semifinal game today between Florence and Fairhope. And there is Chandler. And here he is in the lane. Just an incredible game. Again, 41 points. And they've got a couple of bigs themselves that they can throw at Brown and Sheffield. So it will be interesting in the championship if all things stay as they are and Hoover closes this thing out in the next 6 minutes or so.
Well, Dylan Burleson, his pedigree comes from jump defenses. So do you see some different type looks? Box and ones, triangle and twos, 2-3s, switching to man type stuff. They do a lot of switching. But Florence is going to have to make some shots, and they're going to have to make Hoover a three-point shooting team.
And here's a three and knocked down by Jay Ford. He's been a bright spot for the Red Devils today as he hits another Alabama DHR three-pointer.
See, I mean, this is just a death sentence when you have to start pressing. I mean, there's just no size, length. But this is one of the reasons in the girls' game I believe the Hillcrest might be able to compete with Hoover and have that puncher's chances, because pressure is not the same when you can see over it, if that makes sense. And then you also have a guy like London who
There have always been a few, ready to fight and win for our nation. For 250 years, Marines have proudly served this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
So Central-Phenix City will inbound from right in front of our courtside view here. Bryce Dawson came into this game averaging 14 points, but only has 5 points today, has only taken 6 shots in the game. They could have obviously used a little more from Dawson today. Hill is in double figures with 11. Of course, Ford's been their main guy, 22 points on 8 of 20 shooting.
Quick hands of Hoover.
Nice behind the back, pull up in the lane, just short, and there's Dwayne Brown.
Now you got numbers. Look at these numbers now.
4 on 1. Nice defense there by Jay Ford. He was the only defender that could have made that play, and he made it. Pulls up, in transition, knocks down the Alabama DHR three-pointer.
25 now for Ford. He has played really well today on both ends of the floor. He has not been passive at all against this two-time defending state champion prowess, if you will.
7
now you got an advantage. You can't double them. You cannot come and double these guards now. So if you get behind, you know, it's a problem.
You know, one thing I've noticed between Brown and Sheffield, they enjoy playing together. Two bigs that enjoy playing together.
You see this, like when you bring this double here and then to occupy the back pass, this is now a 3-on-2 with a 6'10 and a 6'11 right around the basket converging. Reminds me really quick of, we got blown out in the United Center my sophomore year playing Wake Forest, the number 1 in the country. It was Tim Duncan and Lauren Woods who ended up transferring to Arizona. Tim Duncan taught him that entire basketball game, and that's what's going on right here.
Wow.
TN.
It really is. The Tennessee signee is having a big game, 23 points, and how efficient. 11 of 12 from the floor. It doesn't get much better than that, and also he's pulled down 13 rebounds.
Oh yeah, just 3 assists.
And a few blocks.
3 assists, 4 or 5 blocks, handled the pressure up against and dribbled it up a couple of times. He's just, it's special, and I hope that everyone watching this kid play and this team play realizes what they've done so far to this point the last 3 years. We've never seen it before, or I haven't seen it in my lifetime in this state.
Fairley with an impressive finish. Ford quickly down, knocks down his 8th 3 of the game. We'll step aside for a break. Be back to Legacy Arena in just a moment.
It's a new year, and there's no better way to start it than with a new Honda from Sarah Honda in Silicaga. Don't miss your chance to save thousands this new year on hundreds of new Hondas. Take home a new 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid or Honda CR-V with 1.9% APR or lease cash up to $1,900. Or a 2025 Honda Ridgeline with up to $5,000 lease cash. Or take home a 2024 Honda Prologue for $249 a month for 24 months. New year, new Honda. Discover yours today from Sarah Honda in Silicaga.
Matthews and Martha's Christian Academy is now open, and we are accepting the first 15 children to come attend. Have a great day.
And back inside Legacy Arena, 3:50 to go in the fourth quarter. It is Hoover with a 22-point lead over Central-Phenix City, the two-time defending champs. Just a little under 4 minutes away from punching their ticket to an appearance in the 7A Boys Championship game Saturday night from Legacy Arena, as they will take on Florence in a 5:45 tip-off. Our 5-second violation here. And again, we'd like to welcome our viewers from around the state on APT, as we are now with you for the rest of the day's games. And coming up at the conclusion of this, we get into championship games, beginning with the 1A division. Shot no good, rebound by London. London and Brown have combined for 45 points. Meanwhile, for Central-Phenix City, Jay Ford with a huge day, 28 points, 10 of 23 shooting, 8 threes in the game today for Ford.
8 threes is a lot for a shooter. And now you see Brown in the post. Look at that cut by Ford. They just know how to play. He sensed it, right? He saw the double and knew there was a cutter, and then just the vision and ability to pass. Dwayne Brown special, really special.
And he pulls down another rebound. What a game for the big fella.
23 and 14 now, partner.
London almost got that one to bounce in. He had a 3 in the first half, kind of bounce around and fall in. Didn't get the shooter's bounce that time. And Hill pulls up, hits a 3 in transition. 14 on the day for Hill. Brown puts it back in.
Yeah, and if I'm Coach Scott Ware, I'm getting my guys out, starting to, and this may be an exclamation point here. 25 points, 27 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 assists. 3 blocks to go with that.
The AHSAA Basketball Championships from Birmingham, presented by the Alabama Community Colleges. And our scoreboard at the bottom of your screen, brought to you by ALDOT. And we have a timeout on the floor with 1:55 to go in this one, as Hoover pouring it on here. 90 points for the Bucks. They came in averaging about 72 a game, and they are well above that average here today, as we have an Alabama Natural Gas Association timeout.
Problem is they can beat you different ways, you know, like an Auburn. They can beat you in the interior. They can beat you stepping out at times, but the transition is where they just dominate.
And here's a look at the Hollis, Wright, and Clay scoreboard. And Bart, we got started early this morning at 9 o'clock, and Hillcrest Tuscaloosa came out of the gates with an impressive 57-41 victory over Daphne. Then it was Florence advancing to the 7A Boys Championship game with an 8-point victory over Fairhope. And then the Hoover girls, they were fantastic today, as that score really doesn't indicate how dominant they were in that game, but they did beat Central-Phenix City to get into the girls championship game Saturday. And then, of course, just a little under 2 minutes to go in this one, the Hoover boys about to punch their ticket to the 7A championship game on Saturday.
The dynasty stage is set. Dynasty's stage is set.
The Hoover girls will be going for a 5th straight championship. The Hoover boys will be going for a 3rd straight state championship.
We'll talk about in this last minute some of the teams. 89 LaFleur team. 96 maybe, or 97 John Carroll team went undefeated. There's never been a 7A team go undefeated. That's another milestone that these Hoover boys will be trying to accomplish. I think you've got to talk about some of the Parker teams, some of the Leon Douglas teams from years ago. Scott Ware's got his team in that conversation. Obviously, that's not a bad place to be.
If Hoover will be, the winning streak will be at 44 games after this one. And as you mentioned, if they can win Saturday, they would become the first 7A team to go undefeated and win a state championship.
I mean, I don't know if they pull this off, how you don't crown them with the two previously. And then now you finish with an undefeated season, going to Alaska and beating people halfway around the world. Nice transfer.
Yeah, nice move there by DJ Harris, the junior. Under a minute to go. Long Trey try is short from Williams. Out of bounds off of Hoover. And the Red Devils will inbound. 21.9 to go.
Couple more possessions probably, but we'll be Hoover and Florence. That's kind of how I thought it would go here. Thought Florence would get through that north bracket and handle business in the south. And now guess who you get to play? Two-time defending state champion that's going for the only 7A undefeated season in history.
It'll be the Northeast Regional Champs against the Northwest Regional Champs on Saturday night for the 7A Boys Championship, as Dwayne Brown, what a game for this young man, as Hoover wins their 44th straight, knocking off Central-Phenix City by a final score of 94-67. And coming up after this game, of course, we mentioned the 1A state championship game. The girls and the boys 1A champions to be crowned later today here inside Legacy Arena. All the action coming your way live on APT, presented by Alabama Community Colleges here on APT. That'll wrap up our coverage of the semifinal round. For Bart Heitch, Mickey Shadrick saying so long. We'll be back with more here in Legacy Arena in just a moment.
Hollis Wright has assembled one of the best trial teams in the state of Alabama.
All right, you guys, appreciate y'all for watching. I'm over here, hop on the duty. Indiana Jones, get out of here.
Hey, why you climbing on my ankle like this, bro? Look at this. He is climbing solely on one ankle of mine. Look at this. Look. I want you to look, bro.
Know that. But that was a good game. But that was a good game. But that was a good game. But that was a good game.